Will here with EA Mobile. We're here with Jeremy. Hey Jeremy. He's gonna take us on a little tour of NFL Madden NFL 11 here, brand new. We're taking a little preview of the game, going to be released next week. And what you see here is actually the iPad. I'm gonna let Jeremy take it away and explain to you guys what's new with the 11.
Yep. So Madden NFL 11, we're bringing it to the iPhone. First time we're launching on iPad.
Mm-hmm.
We're very excited to bring it here. So one feature you see right off the bat is game flow. That's one of the big features that the console versions have this year. So basically, I was able to get right to my next play without ever going into the playbook. You can still make changes on the fly, but it helps you kind of get through the game faster and go from there. So hot routes are another feature I can show you because it's a passing play. We had them last year, so you can go in and you can draw your play up on the fly, right, and go directly from there. And then when you call
That's
your
a cool
passing
feature,
play,
yeah. Make full use of the touchscreen there.
Yeah. So another thing you notice for the iPad, so you can still pass by tapping on the buttons on top of your receivers, which you can also do in iPod Touch. But ultimately, it's a device that you're often holding, with both hands in the corners. So we also have all the receiver icons mapped to the bottom corner to the passing wheel, so you can, still hold the game comfortably and pass from there.
Oh, I see, and they light up with the
Exactly.
who's open, who's
we show green, yellow, red to show how open they are. We also show the receiver's numbers, so you know who you're passing to. If you want to hit Robert Meacham, number 17, if you want to throw it to number 82, it helps you know who you're throwing to.
Right.
So right now, as I'm showing it to you, I'm not paying as much attention. I'm not doing as well, so it's 4th and 12. So GameFlow knows that I want to punt.
So GameFlow is on right now. So
yeah, GameFlow is on. So you haven't even seen the playbook yet. So it makes the game go much faster.
Right.
We estimate the game's almost, half the time to complete. So it gets you much more time, on the field and less in the playbook.
Gotcha.
Ultimately, if you want to call all your plays, you can turn it off. Every single play you can alternate and go in if not. So it's really kind of there for your use and to make things go faster. It's also great too because it's a way that some players get in a rut of maybe calling the same play over and over again. So this gives you the opportunity to see more variety of run plays, more variety of passes.
So how does it choose those plays?
We have a pretty good, pretty deep, football logic in the game. So it's gonna be based on, the situation, the down and the distance, and also based on the team you're using. If it's a run-heavy team, a pass-heavy team, all of that goes into play for the plays they're calling. So I showed you hot routes a minute ago for passing plays. This year we have hot routes everywhere. So all parts of the game have hot routes. So on defense now, you can draw up your play on the fly. You can put a zone, have each player go in the zone.
Cool.
You can draw blitzes. You can go directly to another player and have them go into man-to-man. So you can really draw up on defense, any play you want on the go.
So the game automatically knows what kind of coverage you want based on where you're driving.
Exactly. If you're drawing anywhere in the backfield, it's going to be a zone defense. Anywhere past the line of scrimmage, it means he's coming in for a blitz. And if you draw, directly to one of their receivers, right, who are showing in yellow who the eligible receivers are, then you'll play man-to-man. So if you want to double cover somebody, basically anything you would you'd want to do in a football team,
right?
You can draw up the play on the go.
And I saw it slow down there a second ago. What is all that about?
Yeah, so action control time. It's a feature we had in last year as well in the iPod Touch version. So you can slow the game down and really kind of time your moves accordingly. So you can still do things in real time. Your speed bursts, your sprints. But if you want to slow the game down, time that dive tackle, time the deflection, you can go into action control time on both offense and defense.
Can we see that again?
Absolutely.
And I guess that's the little stopwatch.
Yeah, so that's the stopwatch looking button on the right. So, the game slows down, you can change who you are and then go in for, the different moves.
I see.
Another new feature, which I'll show you on this next play on defense, brand new feature this year is called Total Defensive Control. So basically that allows you, it'll be once the play starts, the button's going to pop up here. And it allows you to stop the play momentarily. You can then draw up routes in the middle of the play if you want them to chase somebody. You can also queue up moves. So you can tell this player, go in for the dive tackle, go for the deflection, and really, adjust your play on the fly. So right here, the ball's up in the air coming this way. So I can pick this guy, tell him to go for the deflection, right? It shows it's going to happen, then go back to the game.
I see. So you can set up multiple, you can tell multiple players what to do.
Yeah, there's a couple advantages. I mean, one great thing is strategically, if you have a guy double covered, you want one guy to go for the interception, which is a little riskier. You can have the other player still go for the deflection. Similarly, if he's running with the ball, you can have one player go for the big hit or the strip, trying to cause the fumble, and the other guy can be behind him going for the wrap-up.
Gotcha.
So you really kind of strategically plan what you want to do.
So that's new for 11.
That's a brand new feature for Madden NFL 11. And the other great thing about it is it really gives you the opportunity to have input and have control over every play on defense. If you're playing a player over in the corner and you're going in for a sack, suddenly gets the pass off up in the corner, you're not having to, really quickly try to get to the right guy, try to time your jump. You can stop the action, get that overhead view, and make sure that you're having the players you want to do, the things at the moment you want to do.
Gotcha.
So now
Yeah, it's looking good, and the graphics look better than the previous version as well.
Yeah, so this is the first time we're bringing it to iPad. But yeah, a lot of the same features. We have animating shadows, and the crowds animate, all these other great features. You'll see if you look at the iPod Touch and iPhone versions, they're definitely a significant improvement over last year's iteration.
Right.
And then ultimately, it is for the mobile platform. So mobile sensibility is a big part of what we take into. You can exit the game at any time, and your game saves where you left off. We have all the real teams, real players, free agents, full season mode. I mean, it's really, a full-featured Madden NFL game on a mobile platform.
So speaking of on iPhone, can we take a look at the iPhone version?
Sure. So we're able to take advantage of the Retina Display on this device. So you'll see it's very high res on this device. And so on iPod Touch and iPhone, you'll see the same features on iPhone. Total defensive control, hot routes everywhere, action control time. All those are there as well.
And overall, the controls look very similar, and the layout is pretty much.
Yeah, I mean it's the same basic idea for the layout. Ultimately, they're adjusted a little bit based on the device's layout and where you normally would expect your fingers and thumbs to be.
Right.
But yeah, it's you still have total defensive control. You can do all those things. Really delivering a full featured version on all these devices.
Great. And what about team selection?
Yeah, you want to see that screen?
Yeah.
I'll show you. So we quit out. Yeah, so our team select screen, I think it's pretty cool this year. We made it to look a lot like consoles. So, you have your teams here, on each side. And one of our other new features this year, if you're playing in a team with an outdoor stadium, you can actually play with rain or snow.
Oh, nice.
And day or night. So really just going for, more features, more authenticity, all that great stuff.
It's a little scroll action for picking the teams.
Yeah. It shows you the team's rating, so you can compare who's better than who and all those things.
Awesome. So, yeah, I guess that's a quick little look at Madden NFL 11 with EA Mobile. Thanks, Jeremy.
Great, thank you.